I know you would love a massage. How about you come over? Let's treat you like the king you are.
They caught her mid-performance. Not in a dark alley. Not in handcuffs. Not screaming. No. They caught her smiling. The man was slumped sideways in a cream leather seat that cost more than most people's houses. His breathing sounded wrong. Too slow. Too shallow. Like his lungs were negotiating whether to keep working. A glass of wine lay shattered at his feet. Red liquid crawling across the carpet like a confession trying to escape. And Lena? Lena was still playing the part. "Oh my God," she whispered, perfectly pitched between panic and concern. "Sir? Sir, can you hear me?" Her fingers were already moving. Watch off. Phone gone. Wallet lighter. She could have done it blindfolded. She probably had. The jet hummed calmly, completely unimpressed by the moral disaster unfolding inside it. Outside, the sky was flawless. Inside, Lena felt something she hadn't felt in a very long time. Annoyance. Because for once, just once, the plan hadn't gone clean. And that irritated her more than guilt ever could. Lena had never set out to rob billionaires. That part always sounded ugly when people said it out loud. She preferred the word collect. Airports were her natural habitat. She understood them the way predators understand terrain. Who rushed? Who lingered? Who traveled with noise instead of substance? Who traveled alone because they trusted their money more than people? Private terminals were even better. The men there carried power the way children carried expensive toys, carelessly, proudly, assuming no one would dare take them away. She loved that assumption. She learned early that seduction wasn't about cleavage or lipstick. It was about timing. It was about silence. It was about letting a man talk long enough to forget he was being observed. Her smile was her passport. Not wide, not flirtatious. Just enough to suggest she had secrets and wouldn't waste them on anyone undeserving. She never hunted broke men. That would have been pointless. She hunted men who believed the world bent naturally in their direction. Men who said things like, "people like us," without irony. Her first big score happened almost accidentally. A venture capitalist with divorce-tired eyes and too many opinions noticed her adjusting luggage in first class. He made a joke. She smiled politely. He escalated. She didn't. By the time the plane landed, he had confessed to tax evasion, infidelity, and a deep fear of being irrelevant. She took his watch on the jet bridge and didn't even remember doing it. That scared her a little. So naturally, she did it again. And again. Soon, she wasn't just stealing objects. She was stealing dignity, control, the illusion of safety. She watched men crumble emotionally after one conversation with her and felt entertained. She refined her method like a chef perfecting a recipe. Step 1, never appear hungry. Step 2, listen better than anyone else ever had. Step 3, mirror their ego back to them until they mistook it for intimacy. She used turbulence to create touch, delays to create conversation, champagne to create confidence. And when confidence bloomed, so did stupidity. One man handed her his phone to hold for a second while he used the restroom. She drained 3 accounts before the seatbelt sign went off. Another boasted about his offshore holdings so loudly she barely had to try. She kissed his cheek at landing and took half his secrets with her. She started keeping score. Not money. Men. There was the oil tycoon who called her exotic and paid for it with a year of audits. The tech founder who cried when she left and sent her apology emails she never read. The hedge fund darling who fainted when he realized his assistant didn't know his passwords. She did. She told herself they deserved it. They always did. But somewhere along the way, the thrill sharpened into something darker. She stopped sleeping properly. Her mind raced constantly, replaying past cons, imagining better versions, faster versions, riskier versions. She flirted even when she didn't need to. Pushed boundaries just to see who would fold. She enjoyed the moment right before a man realized he was losing control. That flicker, that panic. It was intoxicating. And like all intoxicants, it stopped working the same way after a while. She needed more. The madness didn't arrive dramatically. It arrived quietly. In the way she laughed at the wrong moments. In how she felt bored during successful cons. In how she stopped caring whether men woke up afterward. She once stepped over a billionaire who had passed out on the floor of his jet, checked his pulse, shrugged, and finished stealing his files. She felt nothing. That should have terrified her. Instead, she felt powerful. By the time she boarded his flight, she was already spiraling. She noticed him immediately and then dismissed him. No entourage. No arrogance. No expensive insecurity screaming for validation. He didn't even look up when she passed. That annoyed her. She adjusted her approach without thinking. Sat closer than necessary. Spoke softer than usual. Dropped a line designed to invite curiosity. He listened, but didn't bite. That was new. She smiled. He smiled back. Calm. Neutral. Observant. She felt naked. You travel a lot, she said casually. Yes. Most men would have elaborated. He didn't. She leaned in slightly. Work? Sometimes. That was it. She hated him instantly. So she did what she always did when she felt threatened. She decided to steal from him. Not because she needed to. Because she needed to win. She waited until the cabin lights dimmed. Watched his breathing. Listened. Counted seconds. Then she moved. His security systems were better than average. That excited her. She cracked them anyway, fingers flying, heart racing, not with fear, but delight. She was halfway through when the lights came on. Finished? He asked calmly. The word caught didn't do the moment justice. She didn't scream, didn't plead. She straightened, met his eyes, and smiled like she still had control. Not quite, she said. That was when the door opened. Security. Evidence. Silence. The aftermath was surgical and humiliating. He wasn't angry. That terrified her more than shouting ever could. I've been watching you, he said, almost conversationally. You're very good. Until you're not. She expected threats. She got curiosity. They didn't turn her in. They let her walk. That should have been her warning. Instead, it became her obsession. She tried to disappear. Changed cities. Changed hair. Changed names. It didn't matter. He found her anyway. Not on a jet. In a cafe. You're unraveling, he said gently. She laughed too hard. You like my smartness, she snapped. Now you want to own it. He shook his head. I like your mind, he said. And I'm wondering why you're trying to destroy it. That was when something inside her cracked. Not tears. Laughter. Uncontrolled, sharp, hysterical laughter. I was bored, she said. And angry. And powerful. And invisible. All at once. He listened. That was his trick. He didn't seduce her with charm. He seduced her with attention. In the end, he didn't save her. He offered her something worse. Choice. She fell in love with the one man she couldn't control. And for the first time, she didn't steal to feel alive.